Right now at 6, Carthage students break ground on a unique learning experience.
And while we have pretty decent road conditions around the area, slick spots and some black ice still a concern. We'll take a look at that and your forecast coming up.
Plus, Joplin residents shared their vision for Memorial Hall's future. Friends of Memorial Hall host a community meeting to discuss restoration plans for the 100-year-old building.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, December 2nd. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Hopefully you had a pretty good day yesterday. It didn't snow a tremendous amount in terms of what accumulated, but it looked really pretty with the Christmas lights and everything.
That's kind of sometimes like the best kind of first snow you can get is like when there's something very visible happening, but it's not so bad that you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't shut down the region for a week or anything like that. It was a good snow. It was great that it was first day of December, kicking the month off. A bit cold. I mean, don't get me wrong, we were below average and everything, but it's a nice way to kick off December.
But it still felt seasonal.
Yeah, it certainly did. Like I said,
winter's here.
It was just beautiful. Yeah, Christmas lights up in many places. It just added to that festive spirit. However, it also brings something that's less than festive, and that's that black ice potential, slick spots. There were crashes, a number of crashes yesterday, especially on bridges and overpasses. So you've got to be careful. You still need to be careful this morning because even though the snow has stopped, it's still slick outside. Let's start with that live look from downtown Pittsburgh. I've been using this particular view as an example of this because it's just we've got a really great shot of Broadway there. So again, I'm not saying that Broadway is covered in black ice, but it's a great example. So what happens is you get that thin layer of black ice where you can't see it. It's a very thin glaze. It's transparent. You don't see it until your car is sliding in most cases. So that's why you've got to slow down and be cautious. Like I said, it doesn't look like there's any black ice here on Broadway. Road crews have been out. And a lot of the urban roads and main roads are pretty well clear. It's a lot of the bridges, overpasses, and the rural routes that are going to be more impacted by black ice across the area. Our cameras have the range line looking good. We had some flurries here on the Baxter Springs camera earlier. In fact, I think I just saw a couple go by. So nothing too crazy, getting a couple of flurries out of the clouds, but those will continue to clear out. KDOT camera at 69-400, looking along 171. You see these shiny spots. Now again, this could be legitimate liquid, because I know road crews have been out putting salt down, treating the roads, but that's kind of what you got to look for as well, because even in some of the more traveled areas, you got to watch out for those shiny spots, because that's going to be the only way you're going to see black ice is if it's under a street light or in a well-lit area. MoDOT cameras around the metro area, traffic is moving. It's moving pretty smoothly, but again, you can see some of those shiny spots. Like I said, some of it could be legitimately liquid. Road crews have been out. But you still want to be cautious. You don't want to take any chances. So slow down this morning. Make sure you get where you're going. 24 in Joplin, 20 in Pittsburgh. That's again why the slick spots are a concern, because we didn't really make it much above freezing yesterday. In fact, most locations did not breach freezing yesterday. Today, more of us will, but we're starting off really cold. Iola now the cold spot. Neodesha, it was you. You've come up a whole degree to 17, but Iola at 16. Our warmer spot, Cassville. You guys have, you got it right on here. You're going 28 degrees, but we've got this mix of teens and 20s. All of us, though, still below freezing. That's why slick spots are going to be a concern through the morning commute. On to the future track. Skies clearing, already clearing out to the west. Will continue to clear through the morning, and even through the early morning hours, we should start to clear out. Sunny skies out there. It will not be tremendously warmer, but it will be much sunnier as we head through the day today. Kids heading out the door. Again, some clouds still hanging around as we clear out. 24, 36 by lunch and recess, 41 as they head home. We're going to go mid-20s by 9, mid-30s by noon, upper 30s, low 40s for our highs, clear skies, and southwest winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We're going to continue to warm into tomorrow, and then we get a dry cold front that's going to bring us right back down again. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Carthage students get hands-on business experience through an innovative new program. The Carthage Chamber of Commerce stopped by Columbian Elementary School in Carthage for a groundbreaking ceremony yesterday. It's for the Itty Bitty City School Project. Throughout the program, students will create businesses and run a functioning city. Christmas parade season in the 4 states is just getting started. KOAM has a list of Christmas parades from all over our area. The next ones are tonight in Joplin and Mount Vernon. Just scan this QR code and head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, to see the full list. Since 1988, KOAM and Fox 14 has teamed up with you, our 4-state community, in one of the area's largest toy drives to benefit underprivileged children, the KOAM Toy Box. There are several ways you can help out this holiday season. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more. You'll find a list of toy drop-off locations, a way to make a monetary donation, and once again this year, our Toy Box Tuesday telethons. The first one is today at noon, 5 and 6 p.m. Thank you for helping make a difference in our community. 5th graders at Joplin Soaring Heights Elementary raised more than 2,200 items for our Feed the 4 States program. The students in Mr. Lavelle's class put their hearts into it and collected the canned goods. The items collected yesterday went to Cross Lines and Watered Gardens.
Feed the 4 States is huge to our Mission Market Food Pantry. We feed over 50 families and individuals alone a week, and we serve hundreds of meals every day to our shelter guests. So this wonderfully generous donation is going to fill our shelves to feed the local food insecure people that we serve.
One student raised 670 items by himself. Well, Joplin's Memorial Hall restoration gains momentum last night with a unanimous City Council vote. The 9-0 decision green lights an agreement with the Friends of Joplin Memorial Hall organization to continue renovation efforts. The measure now will go for a final vote at the next meeting. Yesterday, residents learned more about plans to revive the historic venue. KOAM's Blake Goley reports.
I'm here outside Joplin Avenue Coffee Company, where Friends of Memorial Hall hosted an event to hear questions, concerns, and share updates of the restoration plans for the historic site. Inside, community members learned how the plan could bring new life to the 100-year-old building. Organizers say restoring Memorial Hall is not just about preservation, but about reviving the purpose it once served for local veterans and the community.
To have the veterans to be brought back in for their meetings, to be able to hold events there, to be able to showcase and remember those who have given, and to expand.
Residents also raised questions, including how talent will be booked, compete with other venues, and manage events if the hall is restored. Organizers say those concerns are a part of what they're trying to address as they redefine the plan.
I believe that a lot of people want something good to come from Memorial Hall, but they're just not sure what. And so this part excites me because it gives people an opportunity to be heard.
Melody says they are preparing to move into the next phase of the project.
We'll finish with the creation of the Friends of Memorial Hall official organization, and then we'll start taking what we learned from tonight on plans and different things, getting with the contractors. It's a lot of steps we still have to go through, and we're looking at not next year, but maybe even the year after that before we even are able to do anything like that people will actually see the physical side.
The group says the feedback from the event will help shape what's to come. Reporting in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, lawmakers demand answers after a Caribbean military operation that killed 2 survivors. Plus, the Super Bowl entertainment lineup is complete, with Charlie Puth singing the national anthem and Bad Bunny headlines the halftime show. And we have cold and chilly conditions in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is coming under scrutiny for reports about a September 2nd boat attack in the Caribbean, as Torian Small reports. This comes as U.S. delegation prepares to meet face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow today in a bid to hammer out a deal to end Russia's war with Ukraine.
The Trump administration continues to step up U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, moving the USS Gerald Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, to St. Thomas. This comes as one of the 21 drug boat strikes on suspected narco terrorists is now under scrutiny. The Washington Post reported Secretary Hegseth gave a verbal order to kill everybody on board. When 2 survived, the Special Operations Commander overseeing the attack ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions, and the 2 other men were blown apart in the water. Hegseth has denied he gave any such order.
Pete said he did not order the death of those 2 men.
Lawmakers in both parties have vowed to investigate.
We're going to conduct oversight, and we're going to try to get to the facts.
This rises to the level of a war crime if it's true.
Meanwhile, in Europe, the U.S. remains intent on bringing the war between Russia and Ukraine to an end. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Ukrainian negotiators in Florida over the weekend. And on Tuesday, a U.S. delegation is set to conduct meetings in Moscow. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner are set to talk face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin about ending his country's war with Ukraine. Late Sunday, President Trump expressed optimism.
I think that there's a good chance we can make a deal.
European leaders expressed concern on Monday that Ukraine could be pressured into making an unfavorable deal that would set the stage for future invasions. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Congress will hold hearings on the strikes and the administration's handling of the drug war operations in coming weeks. Well, still to come, new research links early smartphone use to serious health problems in children. Plus, we have cold and chilly conditions. Chris has a look at your Tuesday forecast. Singer Charlie Puth is headed to the Super Bowl as the First Lady adds a production company to her resume. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
As NFL teams continue to duke it out in the regular season, the musical lineup for the Super Bowl pregame is now set. The NFL has announced that pop star Charlie Puth will perform the national anthem. Brandi Carlile will do a rendition of America the Beautiful, and actress and songwriter Coco Jones will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing. Earlier this fall, Bad Bunny was selected for the Super Bowl halftime show. The First Lady is headed for the big screen. Melania Trump posted this on X to announce Muse Films, her new production company. The company's first film will be a documentary titled Melania, the Film. It follows the First Lady ahead of this year's inauguration. And a new documentary sets to answer, who is the real Sean Combs?
We're losing.
Sean Combs, The Reckoning, documents the rise and fall of the music mogul in the week leading up to his 2024 arrest and indictment. The 4-part documentary is out today on Netflix. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, lots of interesting projects to look forward to in the entertainment world. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've still got pretty good road conditions compared to yesterday, but slick spots are still possible out there this morning. We'll have a look at those road conditions, our forecast for today, and some warmer weather, albeit briefly, on the way tomorrow when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 6:18. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:20 now on this Tuesday morning. We're starting with some road conditions. As you can see, a good portion of the state of Kansas is looking good. If you are traveling outside of our region, still some partially covered roadways up around Topeka, Lawrence, and Overland Park. And then back into our area, still some partially covered roadways being reported from Iola back toward Yates Center, Burlington, Garnett as well. So even though the other roads are listed as clear, black ice, slick spots, big concern still for especially bridges and overpasses and rural routes as well that may not necessarily be treated by KDOT or even the local authorities. They may not go on to some of the rural roads. So you've still got to be extra cautious out there. On the Missouri side, man, the state of Missouri, especially the northeastern 2/3 of the state, still a bit of a mess, getting improvements. But Kansas City up toward Quincy, St. Louis, we've still got some covered and partially covered roadways in our area. Earlier, we still had I-49 and some of the highways around the metro listed as partly covered. Those have improved. They are now listed as clear, but around the Stockton area, still some partially covered roadways. And again, bridges, overpasses, those are going to still have the potential to have some black ice, have some slick spots. So you still need to slow down out there this morning. Be cautious on your morning commute because we're very cold now. We will be pretty cold through the morning. So it's not like any of this stuff's going to do a lot of melting between here and the time you head out the door to go to work, school, whatever the case may be. However, it will get sunny it will look pretty nice as we go through the day today. It won't feel too nice, but it will look nice, and it will be a little warmer than yesterday. Now, as we go overnight, clouds expected to gradually increase, leading us to partly cloudy skies tonight. Then we'll eventually have the mostly cloudy skies as we head into our Wednesday. However, we have a dry cold front coming through. Now, a stray flurry or sprinkle, depending on what side of it you're on, is not out of the question, but at this time, precipitation chances tomorrow are extremely low. What we're looking at is primarily a dry cold front. Ahead of it, we'll have south winds. We warm up a bit, upper 40s, maybe even a couple of low 50s in our southern counties. Then that front starts to push through a little later in the afternoon into the early evening hours. Winds will shift out of the north, and our temperatures are going to take a bit of a dive as we head through tomorrow night. So again, a pinch warmer tomorrow, but then it'll be much colder tomorrow night and into our Thursday as well, as we'll have some partly cloudy skies and again, some pretty chilly temperatures out there. Here's what we've got to start your day. Again, a few clouds still lingering by 8. I think most of us will be pretty clear. It will be clear otherwise. Mid-20s to start, low mid-30s as we head into the late morning hours. Going into the afternoon, upper 30s, some low 40s out there as well, with a southwest breeze at 5 to 10 and the sun of deception, where it looks nice if you're inside, isn't so nice once you walk outside. Clear skies into the evening, dropping us back down in the low 30s by 10 o'clock tonight, eventually back into the upper 20s and low 30s. And we've had some of our communities in southeast Kansas, Neodesha and Iola, both have dropped down to 16 degrees this morning. So while 29 isn't warm, it certainly beats 16, and it's certainly going to beat what we're expecting tomorrow night. I'm not saying go out and enjoy 29 degrees. It's just it's going to feel slightly better than it does this morning and tomorrow night. All right, tomorrow, as I mentioned, upper 40s, maybe some low 50s in our southern counties. Mostly cloudy skies. That's what I'm talking about. Here it comes again, back into the mid to upper teens. Wednesday night into Thursday leaves us cold for Thursday, low mid-30s. We warm up a bit Friday, Saturday. Could get some showers Saturday. They see that high in the low 50s. Any rain we get, chances are small, but any rain we get Saturday should occur while it's still warm enough for it to be rain, but could lead to slick spots again Saturday night into Sunday as temperatures drop below freezing. Next week, still some iffy details, but there's at least the possibility that those numbers you see there are not a hallucination. We may get into the mid to upper 50s for a bit next week. Just kind of play it by ear, see exactly how this plays out for those temperatures. But either way, should be warmer next week. That is a check of your forecast. Now I'll send it over to Samantha with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. There's an alarming rise in cases of breast cancer among young women. A study presented at a meeting of the Radiological Society of North America found nearly a quarter of all breast cancer cases occurred among women aged 18 to 49. Researchers say this is concerning because currently there are no screening guidelines for women under 40. There's potentially groundbreaking progress in the fight against HIV. A UC San Francisco study found an experimental immunotherapy treatment helped HIV patients keep the virus under control without long-term antiviral drugs, which is unprecedented. The study's authors say they're closer to developing a therapy that would let HIV patients live without lifelong medications. Having a so-called beer belly is linked to heart damage in men. A study in Germany found men with high levels of abdominal obesity are at risk for changes in the heart, which add to the risk of heart failure. Researchers stress that middle-aged men should focus on reducing fat rather than reducing overall weight to lower the risk of heart disease. It's the time of year when parents may be considering that first smartphone as a holiday gift. Now, new research suggests owning smartphones at a younger age could increase the risk of some health issues. Stephanie Stahl has details.
The LaChapelle family loves spending time outside.
We encourage outdoor play and independent play as much as possible.
Mom Elise has signed the Wait Until 8th pledge, a promise not to give her children smartphones until at least the end of 8th grade.
It was very important to me to delay smartphones and delay social media because I think it's very easy to see the effect that they have on kids, the effect they have on their attention spans and their social skills and their overall mental health.
New research published in the journal Pediatrics suggests having a smartphone before age 12 could increase some health risks.
Compared to kids who do not have a smartphone at age 12 or by age 12, those who did have a smartphone had overall worse health outcomes. They had more chances of having depression, obesity, and insufficient sleep.
Dr. Rand Barzilai at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia co-authored the study looking at data from more than 10,500 children. While the research did not look at why, he says there could be several potential mechanisms.
More time on smartphone may be related to less time during, for example, physical activity, something that can protect both from obesity and is also good for one's mental health.
He adds, for teens, smartphones can play a role in social connections, learning, and safety. Providing a child's location for parents, balancing the positive and negative is key.
We limit iPad usage to 20 minutes a day. There's no YouTube. There's no social gaming of any kind.
Elise hopes more families will get on board and that delaying smartphones will become the new norm. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News.
Researchers plan to investigate further and look at smartphone usage patterns that could be linked to these potentially negative health effects. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, slick roads create dangerous conditions for area drivers. Interstate 44 construction makes snow removal even more challenging.
And we still have the possibility of some slick spots out there this morning, but road conditions definitely improving. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, families flock to tree farms after Thanksgiving to start new holiday traditions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KLAM Morning News at 6:31. I'm Samantha Walker.
All right, Chris Warner, it's Tuesday, December the 2nd. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Of course, got some of that wintry stuff yesterday. Now, didn't add up to a lot in terms of accumulation, but did cause a lot of slick spots, a lot of crashes yesterday.
Yes, you know, you still want to be extra careful even today. You know, I was driving at 3 a.m. this morning. It was still dark and there was still some little slick spots I was seeing, especially, you know, on like those little road bridges you're crossing. Those were I hit some of those and I was like, let me be extra careful.
Yeah.
Let me hold on 10 and 2, very safe.
Yeah, that's exactly how I do it too. I mean, it's you suddenly remember all the rules of the road when either there's a cop directly behind you, like it just all floods back in, like 10-2, and I put this here, terrible song on the radio, not messing with it, gonna deal with it. But it's also the same though if you run into those slick spots. You've got to be careful, you got to be safe out there. And even though the snow has stopped, slick spots, as Sam mentioned, still out there. Let's start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. So again, Pittsburgh, Broadway there looks great. Now, the road crews have been doing a fantastic job, but there could still be slick spots. And I've been using, again, Broadway as a great example because we've got such a clear view of the street here. The issue we're facing, especially bridges, overpasses, and those rural routes that aren't necessarily treated by the road crews, is the potential for black ice, where it's very thin, it's very transparent, and especially in darker areas, you don't see it until you're sliding on it. So that's why you've got to be extra cautious. Now, there's still been that possibility of some black ice in some slightly more urban areas where you might have some lighting, and what you're looking for is for that shiny reflective surface out there. Now, again, that is not to say that this is black ice at 7th Street. In fact, I'd be willing to bet it's probably liquid because the crews have been out treating, but that's what you're looking for in urban areas. Those. If you see a slick spot, don't necessarily assume that it's liquid. You still need to slow down. You need to be cautious because even if they treat it, sometimes it can refreeze. KDOT camera north of Baxter Springs. Now you can see the skies are clearing out, but we had seen a few spits of flurries out there this morning. Nothing major, obviously, but still a couple of flurries. The highway itself, though, looks good so far. Same from the KDOT camera here. 69 400 looking along 171, and you can see where they have treated the roadway, but you still want to watch out for that potential for slick spots and black ice. MoDOT cameras around the metro, traffic moving as folks get their day started. Still got to be cautious again, especially, I know we keep saying it, but really bridges, overpasses. There was what looked like a 2 or 3 car crash on the Center Creek Bridge on 171 near CJ yesterday morning. I was heading down to Soaring Heights for our Feed the 4 States deal and ran into that. So you've got to be cautious. You don't know what exactly the road is like. You just don't want to take that chance of having an accident. We're at 24 in Joplin, 18. I'm sure you wish it was 28, but 18 in Pittsburgh this morning. It is a bitterly cold start to the day again. We've got upper teens. Neodesha's back to being the cold spot now at 16. We've got 17 Yates Center, Iola, Parsons, 18 Chanute, Pittsburgh. And then heading down south, a bench warmer, mid-20s out there. 28 though, Cassville, you've been the warm spot this morning and continue to be so, even though you're still pretty cold. You're warmer than most of us. Skies will continue to clear. You saw it from the Baxter camera where we've got that sunrise out there. Clear skies today, sunshine. It's going to look nice. We'll have southwest winds, and we'll be a little warmer today, just not much warmer today than where we have been. Our kids heading out the door. Again, maybe a couple of clouds still hanging on. We'll go 24 out the door, 36 for lunch and recess, so probably inside. I don't know, when I was in school, you know, it's like 30 degrees, 28 degrees. We still went outside for recess, but maybe not anymore. 41 as kids head home today. Our highs not doing a lot of warming, but still better than yesterday. Mid-20s by 9, mid-30s by noon. We'll go upper 30s, low 40s out there. Clear skies, southwest winds 5 to 10. We'll have another look at road conditions across the area for you. Our forecast for today and the warmer weather on the way, albeit briefly, for our Wednesday here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. MoDOT crews face new challenges as the first winter storm hits the Ozarks yesterday. Drivers encounter slick conditions on area roads. The biggest obstacle this season is on Interstate 44, where construction has created a narrow traffic pattern. The left westbound lane forms what officials call a tight corridor with limited space for snowplows to operate. AAA reminds drivers to clear all ice and snow from vehicles before driving. Leftover ice can become dangerous projectiles, causing damage or accidents. Clear your windshield, roof, hood, and windows completely. Drive cautiously and avoid cruise control on icy roads. Many families have their own holiday traditions this time of year, and with those traditions come at least one controversy: real tree or artificial. As Hannah Falcon reports, one Christmas tree farm in Missouri wants to reduce the choices to one simple one.
What Daddy help us? Whether it's bringing a new generation into an old tradition,
It fell on you,
or creating a brand new tradition.
Like, this is going to be our new tradition. Like, my sister and I are going to bring our kids here, and it's going to be fun.
Picking out your own Christmas tree is a holiday tradition many observe the day after Thanksgiving. This year, in addition to longtime customers, Store Pines saw many new faces like Tiana and Taken Brooks.
We just had a great Thanksgiving yesterday, and so this is just like getting us ready. We did some Black Friday shopping this morning, so we're definitely geared up.
But what's bringing families to the tree farm instead of big box stores for artificial trees? Economic experts say it may be the prices. The American Christmas Tree Association says tariffs are driving the price of artificial trees up. More than 80% of artificial Christmas trees are made in China. According to the Real Christmas Tree Board, 84% of tree growers are not raising prices this year. That's despite some tough growing seasons and increased overhead costs. Whether the tree is real or fake,
Shop local and just come at things with just a place of gratitude.
It's the holiday memories that bring these families together.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, gas prices dropped to the lowest level in more than 4 years. Drivers now pay under $3 a gallon in many areas. Plus, your smartphone can find the best deals now. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, drivers are feeling some relief at the pump so far this holiday season. Gas Buddy, which makes a price tracking app, says the average price of a gallon of gasoline fell to $2.95, the lowest level in more than 4 years. AAA says the average price for a gallon of gas stands slightly higher at about $3 as of Monday, which is down about 7 cents from last week. Gas Buddy says lower crude oil prices and softer demand are behind the decline. Newell Brands, the maker behind Yankee Candle and Sharpie, announced it's laying off more than 900 employees, or about 10% of its workforce. As part of the move to cut costs, the company says it will close roughly 20 Yankee Candle stores across the U.S. and Canada early next year. The layoffs are set to begin this month. And with Paramount Pictures, the SpongeBob movie, Search for the SquarePants, coming to theaters in just a few weeks, Burger King is teaming up with the cast of Underwater Dwellers to launch a new promotional menu. It features limited-time creations, including SpongeBob's Krabby Whopper, Mr. Krabs' Cheesy Bacon Tots, and Patrick's Starberry Shortcake Pie. Paramount, a Skydance Corporation, is the parent company of Paramount Pictures and CBS News. Holiday spending can be tough on already stretched budgets. To save a few bucks these days, put the scissors away. Christine Lazar shows us there's a whole new way to clip coupons in the digital age.
This vintage news story shows the way we used paper coupons nearly 20 years ago.
Watch his grocery bill drop from $51 to $19.
The $19 grocery bill and the video quality aren't the only things that have changed. Now your phone can find the bargains, and there are a lot of them to choose from.
My advice for someone starting out for couponing is start small and be okay with that.
Kristen McGrath is senior editor at the Crazy Coupon Lady, one of a growing number of apps that help consumers cash in on deals. Her advice for beginners?
The best thing you can do is start with one store that you shop at all the time, whether that's CVS, Target, Walgreens, and get really familiar with their app. And the good thing is that a lot of these apps have features where you can go in the aisles and you can scan the barcode and it'll bring the coupon up. So there's less guesswork.
A lot of people think I'm not going to worry about clipping coupons because I'm only going to save a couple of dollars. It's not worth my time. What do you say to that?
I would say you can save a lot on the things that you buy every day, and it all adds up. A lot of times we find that when you combine coupons together, so a manufacturer offer from a brand, an offer from a store, add some rewards on top of it, you're getting items for free.
While some can spend hours hunting for every possible bargain, Kristen says it doesn't have to take a lot of time to save a lot of money.
The thing is, there's plenty of quick wins out there. It's a matter of hitting a button on your app and either giving your phone number at checkout or scanning the app at checkout. So, I mean, we're talking seconds here.
In Los Angeles, Christine Lazar, CBS News.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, road conditions improving across the area. Still some slick spots here and there. We'll take a look at that. Our slightly warmer weather today, even more warm weather tomorrow ahead of another round of very cold weather. Lots to talk about. We'll get to all of that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Also got to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries right after this. Time now, 6:43. All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays in the four states. And we are going to start in Chanute with Jesse Scott celebrating birthday number 6. Happy birthday.
And in Girard, Bonnie Burks is celebrating birthday number 8. Happy birthday, Bonnie.
And in Pittsburgh, Ryder celebrating birthday number 10 today. A very happy birthday to you.
And in Altamont, Wyatt Jess Thompson is celebrating birthday number 11. It says, love, Mimi, and Papa.
And heading over to Arma, where Tracy Steffi is celebrating birthday number 14 with love from Grandma. Happy birthday.
And in Fort Scott, Callie Graham is celebrating birthday number 17. Happy birthday, Callie.
And in Carl Junction, Lexi Carpenter is celebrating birthday number 21 today. Happy birthday, Lexi.
And in Thayer, Noelle Thornton is celebrating birthday number 28. Happy birthday, Noelle.
And Ashley Smith celebrating birthday number 33 today. Happy birthday.
And in Carthage, Lori Borland celebrating her 56th birthday. Happy birthday, Lori.
And in Thayer, Bruce Thornton celebrating birthday number 61. Happy birthday.
And in Pittsburgh, Frank Meister is celebrating birthday number 66. It says, with love, your wife and family.
And heading over to Chanute for Carolyn Smith celebrating birthday number 67. Happy birthday.
And our third Thornton birthday from Thayer is Harriet Thornton celebrating birthday number 91.
We're having a celebration for the Thorntons in Thayer, aren't we, today? Very happy birthday to all of you so far. And another very big birthday, St. Paul Neva Richards celebrating 103. A very happy birthday to you.
And a very happy anniversary to Eddie and Nancy Holtzman in Thayer. They're celebrating their 46th anniversary. Happy anniversary.
The celebration is really in Thayer today. Very happy birthday and anniversary to everyone on our list. And of course, if you would like to celebrate with us, what should people do, Samantha?
Yes, they should pay attention to that email they can see on their screen right now, birthdays@komnewsnow.com. And they can send in those birthdays, anniversaries, any pictures they want us to include, but make sure they pay attention to that deadline as well, so that way we can make sure we get it in plenty of time so we can celebrate you on your special day.
Very important information there. Some important information for you. Now, something we covered earlier, if you weren't with us earlier, maybe you slept in just a wee bit, I want to talk a little bit briefly about why bridges ice first. We always talk about it. They're always the thing. The bridges, overpasses, you got to watch out for the black ice, the slick spots. Why? Well, if you didn't know, which when, of course, when I was younger, I was always curious because you always hear it. This is what goes on. Now, most roads will lose heat evenly, and they've got the ground underneath them to insulate them. But bridges and overpasses don't have ground underneath them. They have cold air, water, and so that can reach above and below the bridges. So that allows them to lose heat faster, and that's why bridges ice before roads, because there's cold air both below and above, and so they lose that heat more rapidly, where the roads, they've got some ground underneath, maybe a little warming there. The ground could be a little warmer, and therefore they don't lose heat nearly as fast. And you still have to watch out, even on the roads, for the potential for slick spots, but that's why we always emphasize bridges and overpasses. KDOT, Kansas, looking pretty good. Again, heading up around Topeka, Lawrence, still some partly covered roadways. Even into our areas, still some partially covered roadways. From Iola, heading back toward Yates Center, Burlington, Garnett, again, partially covered. Now, the rest are listed as clear, but as I just went over, bridges, overpasses, and especially rural routes that aren't necessarily cleared by either KDOT or the local county or city officials or city departments, they could still have some black ice. They could still have some slick spots. You still want to be cautious out there. Missouri, again, off to the north and east, still a bit of a mess out there, but it's going to improve, of course. Kansas City, St. Louis, and then heading up into northeastern Missouri, a bit, again, on the messy side. Here in our region, though, I-49 had been partially covered, but we've seen these improve. So we now have clear roadways for most of us, with the exception of around the Stockton area, where we still have this listed as partly covered out there. So again, this is one area for sure you want to watch out for, but really anywhere you still got to watch out for that potential for black ice and slick spots, and again, especially bridges and overpasses. So even though the snow has stopped, that doesn't mean the slick spots went away. All right, we still have them. You still need to be careful. And they're going to stick around for a bit because we're really cold this morning. We've got some locations in the mid-teens. We're all below freezing, and it's going to be a minute before we warm up above freezing. And so that's why even through your morning commute to school, to work, whatever the case may be, you need to slow down and be cautious because it's still going to be slick outside. Future track, though, it's a day of deception, and I've said that before. If you weren't with me, what does that mean? It means it's going to be sunny, which means if you're inside looking outside, it's going to look nice. But then you walk outside, and it's not going to feel so nice. It's still a pretty chilly day for us, but plentiful sunshine. We'll have southwest winds 5 to 10. That's helping bring in the slightly warmer air for us today. And then tomorrow is where it gets slightly more interesting. Overnight tonight, clouds gradually increase. We're going partly cloudy. Then we'll go mostly cloudy through the morning into the afternoon on our Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, we have south winds still, so that means some warm air is getting in. So even though it's going to be mostly cloudy, we're still going to warm up a bit. However, we have a dry cold front coming through by late Wednesday afternoon into the early evening hours, pushing through the region. As it does so, behind it, winds will shift out of the north, still only 5 to 10, but you'll notice that change, and our temperatures will begin to drop. Now, some of the future track data has hinted at maybe a flurry or a sprinkle, depending on what side of the front you're on. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but as of right now, at least, this looks to be primarily a dry front, and so our precipitation chances are very low. It does not mean a flurry behind the front or a sprinkle ahead of it, out of the question. It's just not very likely. But what is likely is it is going to get cold from Wednesday night into Thursday, and that's going to leave us partly cloudy and cold once again on our Thursday across the region. As for the rest of this morning, again, we should start clearing out. We're already really starting to clear out. 24, so mid-20s to start. We'll be in the low 30s by 11 o'clock this morning. Got another look at your forecast and your wake-up recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., although the holiday season is just kicking off, many people across the country have started sending their holiday cards, and one post office right here at home is a possible destination to do so for a very special reason. Details on that and a whole lot more if you join us at 7 a.m. on Fox 14.
This is your Wake Up Recap for December 2nd, your top stories to start your day. The Carthage Chamber of Commerce stopped by Columbian Elementary School in Carthage for a groundbreaking ceremony yesterday. It's for the Itty Bitty City School Project. Throughout the program, students will create businesses and run a functioning city. Cold and snowy weather set the scene for the 46th annual Pittsburgh Christmas Parade yesterday. Families bundled up to watch floats. The Pitt State Marching Band and Christmas characters filled the streets with holiday cheer. The evening ended with Santa riding in on a fire truck, waving to kids who braved the chill. Organizers credited teamwork across many city departments for making it all happen. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we are a pinch warmer today, as we're going to go into the upper 30s, low 40s. Sunny skies, though, so it'll look warm. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Clear skies continue through the evening, back down to the low 30s by 10. Upper 20s, low 30s tonight. Clouds gradually increasing across the area. We will warm up ahead of a dry cold front tomorrow. Upper 40s, maybe even a couple of low 50s in our southern counties. But once that dry cold front pushes through, it gets cold again. We're back in the mid to upper teens by tomorrow night. Low mid 30s by Thursday. Pinch warmer for us Friday and Saturday with some rain chances on Saturday. And then next week, I know you see those upper 50s. We're keeping an eye on that. We should be warmer next week. It's just still some question as to exactly how warm we'll be next week.
Well, definitely something to watch and keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making 5-ingredient pizza bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, why basketball superstar Michael Jordan is suing NASCAR in a landmark case that could reshape how stock car racing operates in the U.S.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we have Jasmine Kyle with SEK Humane Society in the studio to let us know everything going on at the nonprofit.
Plus, we're going to visit a post office right down the road that has become a special stop for holiday well wishes. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now. Watch out for those slick spots this morning. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.